done. So what I'm trying to do actually to find what the university has sent to me with regard to the important topics to be covered, and will be covering all these things which are related to this. Then, if we have the time, we'll cover other things. I think we'll be able to manage it. Just give me a second. This is not my laptop. Do we have a seal here somewhere? This is maybe this is Fasiha. I don't know. It's not my laptop.
لا في الابلكيشن هاي الموضوع
جهازي وانا ما
نسيتيه من المرة اللي فاتت.
Okay, 305 is operational management. So I have the important topics here set to me. Good. Because before people start to panic, I'll just take you through it quickly. Ideally we are instructed to do this at the end of the session. But the important topics as listed here, actually I'll go through instructions. Question paper consists of 3 parts, A, B, and C. Part A.
Can you display it on the data show if you wish?
How can I do it?
It can be. I have a cable. Yes, I have a cable. You can copy it from your mobile to the laptop, and you can display it.
Okay.
احنا هون عندنا فيفا رو كورنر كل شيء بتلاقي معه إذا بدك تشتري تلبس يمكن تلاقي
ما شاء الله عنه على طول مجهز حاله كل شيء. لازم واحد عندنا يكون اي تي وواحد يجهز الاسئله حق الامتحان عارف كيف؟ لازم في رولز معينه حقنا والباقي بس يا راجل.
نعمل أكثر من مرة. ايوه ايوه لا
بس يا جماعة خلاص ضروري ضروري. خليها تبعت لنا اياه ايميل. مستحيل اظن 7.
ليه ما عادي مش احنا وقت اخذنا رقم التليفون كان هو كيف نظم؟
Okay, we don't seem to have succeeded to copy it to the, from the mobile phone to the laptop. Although my expectation was that the university would send this to you, so it will be competition. So I just share it with you, right? Okay. مفيش مجال
ممكن يبعتوا لنا اياه.
ما انا عارف.
لا هو خلصت الشاب
بالضبط.
Okay. Okay. Let us just go through this, and we need really to work together on this because we seem to be losing too much time. Yeah. General instructions here, exam preparation. General instructions. Duration of Unit 305. Final exam will be 3 hours and 10 minutes. I think this was for Shifley specifically. Okay, you know that it will be 4 hours for SBS with the multiple choice questions. I think part, for additional hour. Okay. Yes, sure thing. Okay, so I'll go to the instructions. Instructions. Question paper consists of 3 parts: A, B, C, A, B, and C. Part A consists of 3 questions from which you have to answer 2. Each question carries 10 marks. Part B consists of 2 questions from which you have to answer any one. So 2 questions from which you have to answer any one. 1 question from 2, and each question carries 20 marks. So you already now having a total of 30
The
marks.
first one compulsory, the second part you choose to.
Consists of 3 questions. You need to part A consists of 3 questions, and you have to answer any 2.
And the second part?
So 20 marks. Yeah. The question, the second part B consists of 2 questions from which you have to answer only any one. And each question is for 20 marks. So effectively you will be collecting 20 marks from part A and 20 marks from part B. Part C consists of a case study based on which questions are given. It carries a total of 20 marks. Now I think I told you already about the case study. You're supposed to have this before the exam because it's 11 pages. You need time to read it and understand it and digest what's in it, and then to go to the exam ready with good understanding of this case. Then you will be asked, you'll be given a few questions about the case. Now, vaguely, I remember the questions were saying like, I don't know the exact word what was said, asking you about why this situation which was described was a failure. Right? So you'll be talking about the failure aspect of this case study.
You remember the answer? You only remember the answer?
I don't remember the answer. This, okay, let's go now to important topics. Important topics first, demand forecasting. I don't know.
Demand?
We have to go through the material,
Demand?
Demand forecasting calculations. So this is a calculation question. We'll show you how to answer this, correctly. And there's a question about modern quality management. And this is what I said, that you need a topic. The topic related to quality management need to be read and understood well by you. And then you have waiting time calculations. It's called Little's law. Little's law. Little, yeah, little. Little like small. Little's law. It's the name of a person. And then we have something called alliance strategy, implications and risks. Alliance strategy, implications and risks. Then we have production forecasting calculations. Production forecasting calculations. Production forecasting.
The important topic is not sent by mail.
It's supposed to send to you. I don't know why they haven't sent them. I don't know why I'm doing this. This is supposed to have been sent to you by the university, and we share it. Like discuss it at the end of the session. Forecasting, yeah. Production forecasting calculations and the question on case study. Now, since we know, what we already have hints about where the exam questions are coming from. So demand forecasting calculation. We'll go to this. Do we go to it now, or do we push and where I'll stop where the demand forecasting is? We better do this, yeah? So we'll be fast until we find when any of these things we will slow down. Yes? Is that fine?
Okay.
Very good. So where are we
So
now?
5 topics?
What?
That 5 topics only?
This is what they show here, yeah. Okay, so this was given to me because I taught operation management last month in Sharjah and in Abu Dhabi and Ras Al Khaimah. So they sent me this file. This file was not actually sent specifically for use, but they all the same. Case study, I can show you the case study by the way. Again, they're supposed to give it to send it to you. So remind me after we discuss the questions, the important topics, we come to the case study and I'll show you quickly, you know, what's the case study about. I think we just started topic 2. We talked about the 3 levels of strategies, you know, so in today's dynamic business environment, you know, said there's lots of competition, it's like a race, so you need to have the strategies to make sure that all the 3 strategies work together so you can achieve competitive advantage. Is that clear? Good. Purpose of what you do is to be ahead of your competitors or to achieve your position as you want in the market. Okay? And this will translate into revenue and profits and etc. But competitive advantage is a good word and you need to use it in wherever it is applicable. You know, when we talk about strategies, technologies specifically, then you need to highlight that competitive advantage is the most important driver. Developing operation strategy, basically you need to understand internal and external forces. Anybody has done strategic management? You have. So you would know that your understanding of your internal environment and competencies and resources and strengths and weaknesses, processes, functions, all these things within, you know, your understanding of this and your understanding of your environment and the so it is as said here, internal and external analysis are needed, you know, are the input for the strategy development. Inside looking out and outside looking in. And you can do this with one of the different strategic tools available, such as SWOT, Estelle, or Porter's forces. Okay? In the strategic planning course, you will be familiarized with those. But quickly, SWOT is called, SWOT is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So the purpose of this is by investigating your internal environment, and by the way, the things which you would investigate are the following. Your business functions, your business processes, your business entities, your business hierarchy or the organization structure, and your business environment. So these are, together, they make up the business profile of your organization. Definition of business functions, what departments, divisions, sections you have, your business processes. Every department has its own processes. Some of them are called functional processes within human resources, within finance, within marketing, etc. And there are cross-functional processes which they start in one area and they move to another area, you know, cross-functional. They cross the boundaries. And then you have the entities, and this is where you define who are your competitors, who are your suppliers, what products you are dealing with, who are your stakeholders, you know, and so these are different entities which are specific to your business. Then we're talking about the, so we said functions, process, and hierarchy, yeah? Organization structure. You will look at your organization and see how many layers. Is it vertical or flat? Is it horizontal or flat? And this will, all of this together will give you a plus immediate environment and global environment. The investigation of all this will indicate to you what are the weaknesses, strengths within, and what the opportunities and threats outside. Then your strategy will be based on this understanding. You adopt different strategies to help you to achieve competitive advantage. Porter has done it differently. He provided 5 forces, and he said investigate these 5 forces. And this will give you more information to base your strategies on. A third one is called PESTEL. In the past, when I used to try to get students involved, I used to give bonus marks, you know, when they answer answer or participate. But because I don't do any marking now, I cannot promise. So do you know what's PESTEL? For no bonus mark.
Yes, business analysis.
B is political. E is economic. Environment.
Technology.
S is social. T, technological or technical. And L,
Legal.
huh?
Legal.
Legal, yes. So similar, what you do here is you do a multi-perspective analysis. You know, one famous writer is called De Bono, you know, with the 7 hats or 6 hats. And does anybody know this guy? This is again multi-perspective analysis. You wear the hat of an optimistic person, then you take it out and you wear it of the happy person, and you take it. So it's about having a comprehensive analysis by having different perspectives. You know, I see the world from my angle, yeah? I describe it or you know, analyze it, investigate it. And then I move to another angle. So this is sometimes when our discussion say, this is from your viewpoint, you know? This is what you view from your angle. So multi-perspective is about looking at the same thing from different angles. Okay? And PESTEL does that. Yeah? Which one?
Not the PESTEL. Only for the external.
Which one? Which one? Which one is external?
PESTEL.
Yeah, fine, no problem. I said we use tools to investigate the internal and external. Some of them are specific for external, like PESTEL, and SWOT is for both. Yeah. And Portal is for both also, because you in the products and yeah. But also, most importantly, you need to understand your competencies, because competitive advantage is linked to your competencies, the internal competencies, قدرات. Okay. Okay, so we'll move on to the next slide. Don't spend too much time on this. Already have. There are external analysis, internal analysis. SWOT analysis is to identify those trends, forces, conditions, and factors that potentially affect the formulation, implementation, or result. Too much wording. What you say is SWOT analysis is a tool that is used to develop strategies based on understanding our strengths, weaknesses, and link them to internally, and link them to opportunities and threats externally. It's a much simpler definition. Also, this actually are referred to as critical success factors also, CSFs. Okay? If you were doing, you know, it's good to know this anyway. Yes, I don't see acronyms or abbreviations there, but you need to be aware of this. CSF, which is referred to, it is critical success factor. Right? So, in evaluating SWOT analysis, the correct identification of CSFs is one of the most important outcomes. So you will understand what is critical and what's not critical in your business. Right? Good. Now, we have a class discussion. We're not going to be doing this, but a quick question. You know, there are 3 different types. What might be the critical success factors of these automobiles in the UAE or in Kuwait? Toyota Yaris, Lexus LX570, McLaren P1TM are the success factors of these automobiles in France. What is the critical success factor of Toyota Yaris? Price, thank you. Price.
The market differences.
No, it's called critical success factors. What is the what makes it successful to market?
That it's most wanted.
Yeah, why? How can we? One person at a time, please. You said a good word. Why you want to change it? You said price, and this is what it is.
The price of the car is cheaper than the others.
This is exactly what we're talking about.
Consumption of fuel
This is
will also be
expensive.
advantage of it. If the cheaper cars,
Right.
the Americans,
Right.
will consume more compared to the Japanese.
One critical success factor, conceptually trying to explain the difference between 3 strategies now. So there's one specific feature, attribute, critical success factor, related to each of these cars. There's all more details, but let us please.
Do you mean the competitive advantage of this?
Toyota Yaris is economy.
Not the competitive advantage, my dear. Not at this stage. Let us. What is the call it advantage? Okay. What is the main feature
Economic
of each of
Yaris.
these cars?
Okay.
So we'll say Toyota Yaris, it's price, it's affordability.
Yeah.
Yes, you agree?
Yes.
It's
Economy.
affordable. What about Lexus?
Luxury.
Huh?
Luxury.
Luxury. Luxury. Lexus is known for being luxurious car. What about McLaren?
Sport.
Is it about sport? Is it about elite, let's say?
It's elite.
It's elite, or what we call for those who done marketing, they know niche.
Yes.
You heard the word of niche? So it is niche, yeah? So effectively we have three types of cars. One which is associated with its affordability, this strength, yeah? The main strength of the Yaris, that it is affordable by anybody. The main strength of Lexus, that it is a luxury car, yeah? And the main strength of McLaren, that it addresses the requirements of the niche layer, right? So let's see. We're trying to make a link here, yeah? Anybody has any of these cars, by the way? Huh? Who has a McLaren? You have the McLaren. You're my friend. First time I come to Kuwait, you have to take me. Okay, let's look at this. Why we started, introducing to this? Only because Porter, the same guy who introduced the 5 forces, he also introduced 3 strategies, generic strategies that can be used by anybody to achieve competitive advantage. One of them is what Yaris has used, another is what Lexus has used, and the third is what McLaren has used. In other words, there are various alternative strategies that can be adopted by business organizations. Porter in 1980 argues that the choice of one of 3 strategies is appropriate for any given business. Cost leadership, that's Yaris. Differentiation strategy, this is Lexus. And focus strategy, and this is McLaren. You might ask why. I'll tell you why. Because cost leadership defined as cost leadership strategy says that objective of this strategy is to be the lowest cost producer. They already hinted that. If I find a way of having lower cost for the same product as my competitors, then I can offer it for lower price. And that means it will be more appealing to customers, and my competitors' customers will convert to it. Is that clear? Not clear. So low cost is or cost leadership strategy. Many organizations, many operation managers, they go to the low cost leadership. They find a way of reducing the cost of their products so they can offer it for lower price, and this will be their mechanism for, their strategy for achieving competitive advantage, to be ahead of their competitors. Very effective. 2 products, very similar, comparable, but one of them is 20% higher in price. You go for the lower price, for sure. But after you make sure that they are comparable in quality. Now, differentiation strategy, the second strategy proposed by Porter is how an organization can stand out. You hear the word outstanding. This is in English, if you reverse it from stand out. Stand out is outstanding. How we can stand out from its competitors. What special features? So what you say, I produce mobile phones, and Apple produces, I'm Samsung, and Apple produces my mobile phone. In my, I find that Apple is ahead of me. It is opposite actually, but Apple is ahead of me. So what I do in my next release, I will put an additional feature to differentiate my product from Apple. So people, when they go and compare the two, they say, this is higher zoom, or this is lighter in weight, or this
or
is
now
much,
the watch now.
much nice. Oh yes,
Which is linked with the.
yeah, or it can be linked to the watch, to the gear. Yeah, gear is called. You know that? My son has watch
Really?
with the Samsung, with Note 3.
He's my
Note
friend.
3 and gear, yeah, with the watch. So you can actually call and dial, and this, even websites you can access it. So these additional enhancements or features can differentiate you from your competitors. So when customers look at compare products, they will say, this is of better value because it has better camera or much better looking design or interface or easier to use. So all these features can be differentiated. So Lexus in that regard, when somebody go out to buy Lexus or Nissan Altima, they will say Lexus for sure, right? Because they look at the interior and they say, the Lexus is more prestigious and more luxurious. Third is about McLaren, is what we call focus strategy. And for those who've done marketing, do you know market segmentation? Market segmentation is about understanding your potential customers. You know different segments within the market. So if you identify a certain segment, like those who are, when you do your profiling, you say, those who earn more than 120